Halumin is a faster and easier way to light photography for a number of different scenarios. And to prove it, I'm going to create an image with a common rim lighting setup using traditional photography lighting gear. Then, I'm going to create the same image using only Halumin to light it. Halumin stores very small. It comes in this cool case, and in that case you can store the speed lights, the Halumin H18, and additional accessories that you might need, including the accessory legs or the studio lighting adapters. Now imagine walking into your job and this is all you need. You've got a little blue case, it's got everything you need to do the photo shoot. You set it up in a few minutes, your camera's around your neck, you take the pictures, and you go. And the great thing is because it's very small, it doesn't take up a lot of space when you're working. So if you're in an open business, like a restaurant where there are customers coming in and out, you're not intrusive or disruptive to the business. You can kind of operate over in a little corner and you don't have tons of lighting stands and cables and things like that get in the way. Once you arrive at the job site, you just unzip the case, pull Halumin out, and let gravity do the rest. Boom! It unfolds very quickly. You can see that the setup we're using today is an H18 with 2 speed lights to power it. Once it unfolds, you just insert the support legs to give it rigidity. Then you attach the speed light straps and the speed lights. So much of the photography that we need for social media content is small items that can fit inside of the Halumin staging area. So why take up more space than you need? Think about all the time you can save for photo shoots where you're doing small products, for your plates of food, for your small products and items that can fit inside of Halumin's staging area. It makes the work a lot easier. And you can be gone before you would normally even be set up. It's very similar to like when you're working with software and you have a software adjustment layer and you just move that layer through the composition until it illuminates or it affects like the layer that you want. It's kind of what working with Halumin is like. Halumin is like a physical lighting layer. Like everything that happens in the staging area is illuminated in a certain way, and depending on where you move that staging area, where you move that layer of light, it changes the effect that that layer of light has on your subject. And once you experience it, it starts to kind of get your gears turning on the types of things you can do with it. Halumin is versatile thanks to the open cylindrical lighting geometry. It allows you to get different qualities of light depending on where you put your subject in relation to the Halumin staging area. We have other videos online about that if you want to check that out. You can see I'm just hand holding the Halumin around the subject, and this is to create a rim light. Part of the Halumin's lighting is going to be hitting the front of the bottle, part of it is going to be hitting the back of the bottle. So it's sort of at a 45-degree angle to the front of the bottle. Now we focus a lot on Halumin being great for product and food photography, but it's small subjects and there are so many creative possibilities that haven't been explored because it's kind of a new thing. I think the main point that I was trying to make is Halumin pays ROI on the time and effort that you can... Oh, looks like we're done. The image with Halumin is finished. You know those billboards that you see on the side of the road sometimes for those housing developments, and they say, if you lived here, you'd be home by now. This is that moment in this video. If you were using Halumin, you'd kind of be done by now. Just something to think about. How many photo shoots do you need to do before the time you've saved is paid for the entire cost of Halumin? It's good. I guess you can just pack up and we can, go to the next thing. And that's the point. I can be doing other things with the time that I save because Halumin makes my job easier and faster. I have to use less gear. That's one trip in the door with Halumin and my camera and the lights that are in the case, and I'm ready to go. The traditional photo shoot, that's not a one trip type of a thing. You're taking a few trips up the stairs to get to where you need to go to do that photo shoot. So that's something to think about. I mean, exercise is great. It's important for our health. You're getting some heavier lifting in there. You're getting a lot more steps in your day, but I would rather be taking those steps somewhere where I want to be walking than up the stairs into a client space multiple times with cases and lighting stands. Just something to think about. There is, I hope they validate, there's a meter going and I gotta pay for parking. So, something to think about. I don't know. Maybe none of those things apply to you, but don't you just want to have an easier job doing the same task? It just seems like, why spend more time and do it the hard way when you don't have to? Like, when you look at the comparison images between the image that we just shot with Halumin that's on the screen right now and the one that you're still waiting for, is there that big of a difference? I mean, is that worth taking so much more time out of your day to get that image? Just something to think about. I don't know. What I do know is that I was here for Halumin. The Halumin part is over. And, you can stick around and you can watch the rest of the setup if you want. I am gonna leave. And, there's a tale to be told in that action. So, key takeaways from this video: Halumin, fast, easy, more effortless to get the same beautiful lighting as a lot of traditional lighting setups that utilize bigger, heavier equipment that take longer to set up. Feel like I've been through that message a few times, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Have a wonderful remainder to your day, and Halumin. 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 Thanks for joining me.